Ninjas in Pajamas welcome back Pit for the Intel Extreme Masters Oakland. Returning after a lengthy hiatus from injury, the Ninjas will be hoping to use the IEM stage to begin a consistent run of tournament placements. With the core of the team approaching the 1,000 competitive map mark together, Forrest and GetRight will look at the likes of Virtus Pro with envious eyes. NiP need a good showing in Oakland to regain some momentum, with the upcoming year crucial for the Ninjas in Pajamas legacy.
Sometimes I forget microphones. Welcome back to IEM Oakland, and we're going into another game right out of the gate. I'm Machine, he's Dave, and this is the Xfinity Analyst area. Now, we've seen a whole lot of NiP, and as you already are well aware, this time they're going up against FaZe. Things do get a little different here and a little dicey, and yes, leadership has been a recurring theme throughout our discussions of NiP. We talked about coaching, we talked about changing of rosters for them. And it could not be any more similar for FaZe, who have undergone plenty of changes themselves coming into this game, Dazed.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a true test of Kerrigan and how well he can lead a team. Because the talent that he has to work with, I think Rain and AZ could definitely be on a top 5 tier 1 team. Yeah. As far as riflers. Kiyoshima, of course, has already proven, as well as Alu, that they could be on, Kiyoshima was on the best team in the world at one time with Envy, and Alu was on NiP during a great run for them. So can definitely be on a tier 1 team. So if Kerrigan has all the talent around him to lead a top 5 team and go deep into tournaments and make finals, right? So it's going to be up to him to utilize this talent, and really only time will tell.
I mean, if you look at those 5 names, you can't help but feel they've got all the necessary ingredients now. Absolutely. The first discussion was always with FaZe, where's the leadership coming from? What can Roban really do? That's been answered with Kerrigan. The second question was always, where is the dedicated AWPer? Now you've got yourself the Alu. Now you've also got some consistency. People were criticizing JChem. We bring Keo back in. I mean, I can't help but feel things are like the stars are starting to kind of line up for some success from the FaZe name.
I absolutely agree. Before this tournament started, I had them a little bit, behind Cloud9, but as this tournament is progressing, it seems like, maybe they're a little bit better. Maybe they are. And if that's the case, I mean, if they're better than Cloud9, which seems like, before I had it like...
let's not jump to too many conclusions.
I know, we shouldn't. Before I had Cloud9 like slightly ahead of them, though. Maybe like 45, 55, like that close. But it seems like as this tournament is playing out, we're seeing more and more of FaZe. I saw them at IBP Masters, and I saw some really good stuff, and they really do have insane talent. I think Rain and AZ especially, what they're able to do as riflers and the shots they're able to hit are just absolutely world class. Then you have Alu, one of the most consistent oppers, really. Right. In an era where we have consistently seen oppers, have their ups and downs. Even Guardian, who I have always said is the #1 opper and probably the most consistent opper for so long, is having his troubles, right? He just is always like Mr. Cool, smooth shots.
He's finished, dude. He's finished. It's just how they roll. Like, literally, they could have the best day of their life, and they'll probably smile for about 3 seconds. He's just like, yeah, cool, 1v5, no worries. And it is Mr. Consistent Alu that has not only alongside Kerrigan, but it just get a lot of people very excited about what this roster can accomplish. You've just sat there and gone, Rain and AZ are incredible individuals. Kerrigan has the potential to be the leader to put these guys all the pieces in the right place, right? Like you can appreciate that.
I think their roles are really finely tuned. Okay, I really do, because I think Kerrigan can. We saw him bust out the auto snipe against Cloud9 and Mirage, but I also think he's a fine hybrid. He could op, as well as
you get that double op.
Yes, you could double op with Kerrigan, Alu, obviously. All their roles are really nice. Their roles are really nice. Now Kerrigan leading. They have a great team and a great roster, and they should, because FaZe paid a lot of money for them.
Absolutely. Look at this head-to-head, though. You have got Alu and Forrest. Now, this isn't going to be as much of a kind of carbon locked-in, concrete rather is the better word, AWP v AWP comparison, because as we've already highlighted, you can see already in the sniper purchases, the sniper kills. It's been a very weird distribution for NiP, and it does seem like it's made you rather uncomfortable, Sam, seeing NiP kind of forced to choose between Forrest and Pit.
And Pit, it seems like Pit is going to be their main op. That's what it seems like. And we talked about it earlier, Makalele, he's going to have his op, and people are going to be more comfortable around him because he's opping.
Less sniper purchases and less sniper kills so far, though.
Yeah, but he had the op more than Forrest. He definitely did. And there was many times, usually when Forrest had an op, it was because both of them had an op. So I think Pit is just going to take on that role. He's just going to be their main opper. I have no idea how that's going to work out in the long term, because going from a hybrid, I've hybrid opt a lot. Generally, if you're a hybrid and you're a second op, you usually just don't have much of a leash. You could kind of do you can kind of do whatever you want. You're just like, oh, yeah, I'll pick it up. I'm going to go kill this guy. I'm going to go super aggro. I'm going to re-peek everything. It's so much different than being a main op. When you're a main op, you have to battle a lot of other oppers and just make sure your riflers are safe. Right. Of course, you're going to go after, but like on the T side, for instance, you'll go Mirage at middle and just try to battle that opper. And it's such a different play style and such a different dynamic. And Pith isn't even coming from being on a hybrid, really. And he's
going from, I'm a rifler that can aim, to can you get that pick versus Guardian?
That's kind of what I think.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I mean, you're singing the praises of Alu. We've got a great opportunity now over at the Telestrator to see some of his gameplay in action.
Yeah. So Alu, when you watch him play, you're never going to see somebody like go out of position. You're never going to see him really go out of his comfort zone too much. He's going to have his angles and he's going to have his plays that he makes. Like for instance, on Train, we're going to see him, roaming around Z, and he's going to have like 4 spots on every map. So on Train, maybe around Z, going towards inner, and then back green as well. And when you have an opper like Alu positioned there, he's going to play these spots all the time, and he's going to know how to react in every situation. The other thing you want to notice about Alu is when he plays, his op is super smooth. Like I've been saying that a lot, but
super smooth. Can you define a super smooth op for the guys at home?
Okay, so when he ops and you see somebody like Kenny S op, there's going to be a pretty drastic difference. Kenny S is just going to fling his arm around and somehow still be so accurate.
Right.
Alu, not so much about like these insane flick shots, just about a lot of the time I'll see him take his time, like literally like know that he is in no danger of dying and just make sure he hits his shot, maybe taking a second and a half even.
Right.
I mean, there's times where I see Alu, just so under control, just, sometimes not even quick switching, just chilling, just making
mellow.
It look easy, man.
He
makes it look easy.
Mellow, man. However, we are going to have to be quite quick. We're going to have to do a bit of a Kenny S segment here for the vetoes because it's going to be a bit of a swift blow through these 7-map vetoes. You can see that NiP once again purged Mirage, and FaZe managed to battle it and whittle it down to another game of Overpass.
Yeah, I'm liking Overpass by NiP here, and that's not making me happy because Henry's smiling over there. And
2-0 so far,
that
Henry.
seems like it's not good news for me. NiP always banning Mirage.
Yeah.
And FaZe always bans Cobble. So those 2 maps are always going to be out with these 2 teams. FaZe insta-bans Cobble.
Makes sense to remove Nuke because you've already highlighted you think NiP is probably the best on Nuke currently.
Yes.
NiP choose to remove Dust 2. We know FaZe are probably one of their best maps currently as well. So then you look at it. It's going to be just NiP choosing not to play Train, and FaZe are given the choice. It's like, do we play NiP's used to be their best map Cash, or do we take it to Overpass? And that's how it does boil down into another best of 1 on Overpass, and it's going to be a question of who can continue to go undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't say NiP. I can't because I'm rooting against them.
Okay, you're rooting against NiP.
I'm only rooting against them because I want to beat Henry.
Yes, you're not rooting against NiP. You're rooting against Henry.
Essentially,
okay.
Yes.
Glad we clarified that. Right, bums are back in seats, and the 9th round has been completed. So what with Daze suggesting that he's going for FaZe to take this one, and the best of 1 is almost ready to begin. Will it be Carrigan managing to make this scary bundle of firepower find success on Overpass, or will it be NiP continuing to pick up the W's here in the IEM Oakland group stage? We'll find out with your casters, Sadakist and Henry. Thank God he took the hat off.
And thank you. Yeah, well, first off, I was pulling my hair. It kind of hurt. And speaking of scary or sexy bundles of fire, Alex, you look great today. You look like you should be in a set from Grease with that hair. That's what I think. Grease Lightning. You look all right, Henry. You know who else looks all right? NiP after the last game. And you know what? I'm with you on this one. I think they're going to beat FaZe. The interesting thing for me, now remember when Michael Lilly came back into this roster, Overpass became a promising map for them, mostly due to his almost, I want to say randomness, because he was getting away with
flamboyance.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. And you would know a lot about flamboyance.
I would.
So I think that at SLTV it was very promising. I think that it could be maybe a step back for them here with Pitt. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Overpass is definitely a map they used to veto quite a lot. When he came back in, they seemed more confident on it, and they had a great showing today against Mouse Sports as well, 16-8, a very commanding lead throughout that campaign. We're going to see whether they can pull off the pistol here. T-sided start, and it's going to be Freiburg with the utility. He's got a smoke and flashbang, 4 sets of armor around him very quickly towards the bathrooms here. Rain going to be tested, and he's going to have players all around him as well. Swing towards long as be Forest. Can't land the shots though, so Rain manages to get out of the situation. Not out of danger quite yet. Going to be stopping to try and find a shot. Goes down to 22 HP, but manages to stay alive all the same. It's going to be Alu going down to 13 as well, so a huge advantage in terms of HP for NiP at the moment.
Good late push into the corner from Rain. This could put him in a position where they don't check it. He's got low HP, so he's going to have to rely on hitting a perfect shot. Somehow he gets away with a bunch of whiffs against him. That's going to bring his teammate Carrigan back into the fold, and he's found one front bathrooms, in the bathrooms, drops the bomb. It's Get Right and Forrest to try and pull this back. Look at the HP. Alu 13, Rain on 3, and yet they can't land the shots. There's a swarm of players. a scary bundle of whatever Alex called them, waiting with that bomb just in front of them. And Kerrigan again is going to find a third. Finally goes down to Forrest, but this brings Rain and Angle, and they know exactly where he is.
Need to be careful, though. We saw Forrest in a 4-on-1 against Cloud9. Managed to bring it down to a very tight situation indeed. He has in 25 seconds to work with it. There are 2 players on low HP. That's Rain and Alu. He wants to try and get a bomb down here, but not meant to be. It's Kerrigan who finds 3 kills overall. Good work towards the bathroom area there from FaZe. Not actually scared to take the challenges at all. Kerrigan, not known for his mad fragging potential, stepping up tremendously, though, with that P2000. Headshots all over the place. And as he takes down Pit there in the replay, and he manages to save the round there for FaZe. They win a much-needed pistol here. They're actually 2-0 in the group as well. So this is the first game that either of these sides will lose, and actually maybe deciding who wins the group. We've already seen SK drop a map, so this is actually quite a big one.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. SK dropped a map this morning. FaZe looking the top of the chart when we started this game. Both these teams 2-0 now, though, respectively. So I should say that when we started this game, it was in the middle of the last game. We saw them leading the way at half. They wrapped up their last one quite quickly.
Indeed.
NiP this time, speaking of quickly, going to be already inside of the bathrooms, pushing Freiburg all the way out toward the outer position. It's Get Right that's smoked off. Front of the bathrooms, fires through with that Tech 9, does tag Rain down to 50.
Yeah, so this will be the forced buy from NiP. Obviously, no bomb going down, so trying to do what they can. They've got a smoke and a couple of flashbangs here. They've got control of the bathrooms as well. Bad news for FaZes, though. They only have 1 rifle. It's UMP versus Tech 9. It's quite an equal battle, I would say, and we'll see whether they can actually hold off the limited execution potential, I have to say, from NiP. 1 smoke, that'll probably be used towards maybe CT spawn or bank. Whichever way you're inclined, looks like it's actually be used towards the bomb site itself. That kind of locks off towards Optimus as well. Freiburg making his way towards long. Rain, though, waiting on the other side. Won't be detected. Surely. Freiburg got that far. Still taking down my Kerrigan.
Good position from Rain, though. They're going to walk in. Blinded up. He finds the second kill on Pit. Waits to get his vision back. He'll close the round as well. 3 for him. They don't check the park sign. Committed tunnel vision, perhaps, toward that truck. And as a result, it's going to be 2-0 for FaZe. Good money built up on that UMP. And now we get into the territory with 4 UMPs and 1 rifle. This round they're up against pistols. If they survive all of this and build up more cash, do they go for the bonus?
Yeah, at this point, just keep the UMPs up. Quite a clean round overall. Freiburg running past Rain. I thought at that point he'd turn on and kill him with the footsteps, but not meant to be. There was another interesting bet offered to me with the whole NiP situation. Moses, after he said there will never be a cream pie thrown in his face again, ever, he said to me, if NiP go 5-0, you can cream pie me again.
I don't think he meant literal pie, that's why.
And then he said, if they lose one, I have to be cream pied. You know what? I just couldn't handle the actual prospect of him and his little face lighting up with joy.
I think the problem is, Henry, that every time he said cream pie, he's meant something else, and people have hit him with an actual cream pie. He's waiting for the referenced version.
I see, right. Well, that's why he was so keen to do it. I see why he's actually trying to really push that bet forward. But still, 3-0, not really much to report that last round. Yeah, right. I'm planning to get one in this weekend as well. I'm hoping that Carmack has something up his sleeve, but we'll see what happens. 3-0 though, and it's a first gun round here. Alu will upgrade to AWP, of course, and 3 UMPs. It's a bit of a bonus round here. NiP struggling. It's going to be actually maybe a B-side fast play for them. They've got a couple of smokes to work with and 2 Molotovs, I believe, as well. And FaZe, they'll be going towards the connector. 2 players. It will be Rain and Alu with the AWP. And AZ will be tested first. Surely be dropped here as Exist finds the first frag and Freiburg chimes in with the second.
Now, other than the AWP upgrade, which they'll have to commit to, whether saving or going in this 5 versus 3, they didn't invest a whole lot. Keo already had this M4. So it was a bit of a bonus round with an upgrade, 1 upgrade, and it's gone. They found Alu. That AWP goes down. This becomes a bit more problematic for them, a bit more expensive. Rain's going to back away from the stairs over toward the T-spawn, and round's going to be secured by NiP with a fast bomb plant. Unless Keo can pull off something absolutely incredible within a 2 versus 5, essentially he's alone. In fact, Rain's going to get found by Freiburg, and all 5 will go down. AWP, it's grabbed and now taken advantage of by NiP.
Yeah, solid round there from NiP. Obviously, like we said, it's the bonus round. Tons of money available for FaZe. It's no surprise NiP win that one. They're struggling a little bit. They don't even have the utility to execute. Contact play towards B. Then the UMPs are out as well. Not necessarily the best matchup in terms of weaponry there. So they managed to go towards B. Now those first couple of shots, AZ out of position. And still, it's not really much you can take away from that round overall. It's just FaZe trying to save some money, taking a bit of a risk there. And now they do have the real gun round here. All back in the hands of Alu. And 4 M4s accommodating him as well. A full buy for either side. It looks like NiP favouring towards the B side of the map once again. They found success before. Can they replicate it in round number 5?
Freiburg's trying to find an opening. Smoke was a little bit late to the window. He actually almost found a kill on the way through. It's AZ with 1 in response from the barrels, and Freiburg goes aggressive on the entry to counter it off, but jumping in toward the pit. It's taken back by Keo, who's still dancing in this position. Molotov to his left, he still finds an angle. Gets Get Right walking up, trying to get to a fast bomb plant, low HP, and Rain's found it. But Keo's still swinging. Good shot from Forrest. As he swings back and gets a knockout blow, it's down to the 1 versus 1. Forrest is spotted him. AWP out, and Alu's gone onto the M4. He knows exactly where he is. 1:05, bomb down toward the grain pipe behind him. And he's just going to sit and wait this out.
He's got a smoke to work with here. So Alu, I don't think he knows he's been spotted. Forrest, though, he actually watches him walk into position. It's a 1v1. He has the orb. And at this point, it's a battle of wits and timing there.
Exactly, because he's got to make a decision. 46 seconds, he's got to make a decision in about 30.
Might as well wait. Alu now, he's in a huge disadvantage with his time available. Forrest knows exactly where he is. He can justify waiting here and seeing if Alu gets a bit apprehensive and maybe decides to move position. The problem is, though, he doesn't want to overcommit and go for that pick. Now, gives himself away a little bit there. The smoke comes in, that kind of signals that I know where you are. I'm going to plant the bomb and actually try and get in a different position now.
Well, this is the commitment. Down to 20 seconds, he'll go for the plant. Alu can move on this. He's going to try and bait him out. In fact, the timing, that smoke. If it weren't there, he still would have seen him. This gives Alu a chance to get in a better position. Throws a flashbang over down the trajectory of that, and Forrest knows exactly where he's gone. Rotates over to the door, and a good wide peek. He finds him on the AWP.
Forrest, tremendous work there, the Tech-9. Kiyoshima did such a good job on that B bomb site. He locked them out for so long, finding kills all over the place. But Forrest, he whips out the pistol. What a first shot that was as well. Takes down Rain, and even better on the second. 1v1, like I said, Alu a bit unlucky there. He wasn't aware that he'd been spotted going into that position. Forrest has waited him out. Used the smoke eventually, but at that point, displayed it perfectly. And it's going to be a false buy from FaZe. We get to round number 6, 3-2. Forrest stepping up and finding the second round for NiP. It's going to be Famous. 2 M4s and a couple of pistols here. 1 kit. And at this point, when you have this kind of buy, you need to be hunting for frags quite actively here. You can see Alu and Rain once again, this tag team duo towards the connector. Alu with the 5-7, Rain with the Deagle, trying to make something happen with these pistols. Flashing over, it's a good flash. And AZ gets a first frag. Maybe not getting away with it as well, and it's going to be kills all over the place
Alu.
here.
5-7 from Alu. Able to take down 2 in the bottom of the underpass position, right down at the bottom of the stairwell. Forrest now on an AWP is going to rotate around. Try and bring this back, but that's a very impressive start to the round. That flash as well from AZ.
Perfect.
Not giving NiP any room to breathe.
You can see Geb right there, just completely overwhelmed by that flashbang. Just had to try and hide behind the washing machine, but he was taken to the cleaners himself. 5-on-2 now. Exist and Forrest.
Doesn't Cajun B work at the cleaners?
He is the cleaner. He doesn't work for He works for himself. He doesn't work for anyone.
It's true. He used to work for himself until he got removed from Astralis and lost his shares. Good shot from Exist. Alu's going to get taken down. Brilliant shot from Exist, I have to say. Lines it up with a perfect crosshair placement, but they're still down to a 4 versus 2 in 39 seconds. It's unlikely they'll be able to pull off anything in the round. Forrest does have the bomb.
Still a possibility here, but 30 seconds. You'd say the percentage chance of them winning this is very low. Might just want to save the AWP at this point unless Exist can find a kill, but Carragher takes him down there. Nice little off angle. No one expecting that one. This is going to be Forrest now with the AWP. Bomb in hand. Tech-9 once again. It was kind to him before, and it seems it will be again as he punishes Carragher. And a 3 versus 1 has to plan at this point. Seems he's committed, but unfortunately will be sprayed down. Surely.
Yes. Found him quite quickly. Bomb not going to get planted on that, so no injection of cash to NiP. It leaves them quite low. Forrest does have 4150, but the rest are around 28, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I saw that correctly.
And this is a nice little replay. All the angles you could possibly want at that point. And we do have a force by Matthew from NiP. It's going to be a P90 for Freiburg. An unorthodox choice, more expensive than the UMP. No kill reward for it either in terms of the extra cash. But we have got some Tech-9s, and probably towards the B side, it seems, once again. Contact play, they've got the smokes ready for the Molotovs, and flashing in, Get Right going in first.
Well and truly inside first. Backs away because he can't find an opening. He's a little bit lost inside of the smokes and doesn't want to give away the AK. The P90 instead will go down. Easy again from that barrel's position, and he's backed in nicely to the corner. That's going to be a better shot from him because Forrest walks back in, and the crosshair placement perfectly there. Carrigan and AZ doing most of the work, the bulk of the work. There was a kill that came in from Kia as well from the window, but no one getting through. That fast play from NiP not working, and this is going to hinder them tremendously with that buy.
Get Right, charging in there, manages to find position, but just can't find the players at all. Kiyoshima and AZ seem very strong on that B side there. Quite a formidable duo, it seems. On the other side, when NiP swap over, it's going to be Exist and Freiburg on that side of the map. They're also very, very good. If you can have a solid B defense, it does make things a lot easier on Overpass. The B side is very vulnerable to open executions at the start, like we saw there from NiP. No bomb coming in, though. Kia denied it. So at this point, NiP will be on a fully gear. A couple of PT50s. 3 in total, in fact, and they're just working towards connector. That's where they've had a lot of interactions with the CTs before, but no presence there whatsoever from FaZe this time. They'll be holding back, probably reading the economy situation quite nicely, just knowing there will be an eco. So sit back, don't need to challenge at the start, wait for the final play to come in, and then work as a unit.
Ali with position on the AWP is playing front of the bathrooms, not park sign. as we often see players like Michael, for example, or Fallen do. So a bit of a difference play. This is going to be Rain spraying out. Realizes that they've come in from the bathroom, tries to turn back in time, can't, but now it's Alu back in, and the Tech9 will follow up on a second kill. Pith goes down, bomb dropped, and it's Freiburg with nothing really to play for in this. P250 in hand, can do some economic damage, maybe. Best case scenario, get a gun and get out. With 4 players already there surrounding the scene, there's not any chance of it.
Yeah, it wasn't really too hopeful for NiP going to that round, I have to say. There's some P250s trying to do what they can towards middle, but ultimately shut down. They find a kill on Rain. That's about as good as it's going to get. No plan, of course. They do have money going to round number 9 here. Don't think they have enough for AWP. It's going to be 5 AKs across the board, unless Pitt's been dropped something. He has not. So 5 AKs. They have got utility this time. I'm sure it'll be more of a default round this time as we go into round number 9. Alu, known for his assertiveness. He's certainly not one of the players you could criticize in terms of not doing what he wants to do. He is famed for it almost. He's very confident in his ability, and he's been a great asset for FaZe since he's joined the team. Been up and down, certainly turbulent in true FaZe style, but I think he's certainly been a great pickup for them overall.
Good shots from AZ actually to do a decent amount of damage onto Exist, crossing into the playground. I think you would have saw the blood just as we did on GoTV, so he's down to 34 before he really gets in any prime position or real estate. As a result, he's rotated back over. They're going to commit more to this B side. They
seem to favor this quite heavily at NiP, don't they? Every single round it seems to be coordinated around the B side. There is a boost though for the CTs. That's AZ going up. Doesn't find any more damage here, but he does spot a few Ts coming towards him. The flashes come in, Pitt lead the charge this time, and he finds his first frag. It's been a struggle so far, and Keo continuing the pressure as he finds the first frag.
Better smokes on window this time, but less smokes on the site themselves, and therefore Kerrigan's got a lineup. One brought back from Exist. He finds 2 in the end, but he's taken down by AZ to close out the round. Once more, they get shut down. They're not moving the defense enough.
Yeah, they're not doing any defaults at the start of the round. They're not actually pushing any or presenting any sort of pressure on any other part of the map. It's very it's very tunnel vision, isn't it, right? So going towards B at the very start of the round, executing fully, and they've done that 3 or 4 times now, and it hasn't really provided tremendous results now. And FaZe building up a huge bank of cash going forward. They've got the AWP power as well, full grenades, lots of money in the bank. Like I said, Alu, assertive player. Look for that information to start. It's another partial buy here from the Ninjas. It's going to be Tech9s and a Deagle. I've got some armor to work with as well, but no grenades. It's actually quite an important factor on Overpass. But you get onto the bomb sites at all, you do need those smokes and molotovs to even give you a chance.
Shots coming through from Kerrigan. Spots up Freiburg. Pretty straightforward for him. And Alu missing his shot at Bathrooms. Try and push that out, unfortunately. Forget right. Being pushed by Alu leads him into the clutches of Kerrigan. 2 players coming out from long. The third was Pitt. He dropped the bomb inside of the site. That makes it all too easy for FaZe. They get 1 more kill out of this, but the flank comes in from Alu, tapping away. Thank you very much.
Gets it in the end.
That's all that counts.
Wow. This has been a very quick half indeed. NiP, I have to say, not too impressed with their approach. Seem to be forcing their way to the B side time and time again. Let's have a default, shall we? Let's just try and work a pick. Maybe get the AWP out. We can see they've got enough money to get it on hands of Forest. That's better. Okay, this will be more of a default now. Work the connector, go towards long A, push the CTs back. That's the mainly objective of the T side. Take vision away from the CTs, deny map control, not allowing them to know it's going to be a full-on B attack with no presence towards any other side of the map here. So Forest knows Alu's been pushing towards that mid position. Obviously a former NiP member himself. Bit of rivalry in that sense here. There's going to be nice pressure here from the CTs, pushing in towards Playground. That's Rain. Manages to detect terrorist activity there and falls back. I think that's probably a wise decision considering he's by himself. So no harm, no foul. Doesn't get taken down, but still keeps the T's interested at this point. 1 minute 20 mark, like I said, this is more of a default. Trying to work the connector control. They'll probably end up towards long as well. And okay, get right. Why not? Just through the smoke.
I don't know how he does that every time. So good. That one could have been a radar lineup, but judging on how fast he sprayed it, yeah, I can't imagine it would have popped up, but Alu does find Freiburg front bathrooms. Good push back in from Rain. They're trying to get map control. He misses it, but Pith, he missed it, and Pith overreacted. Takes down Exist immediately after, so call it a trade. It leaves us to a 3 versus 3. Get right, just anticipating that they're pushing out on B site. When they lost that information, they managed to go toward the A site instead, and that's how that trade led to its conclusion, but it's going to be Pith waiting. Trying to slow this down, 43 seconds, and Keo has made it all the way through, and that second guy that was pushing inside a monster after Get Right found the first kill was Kiyoshima, so he's found a good position here, which could catch them off if they want to go back over toward the B site.
Yeah, lots of information gathered at this point. Means the other 2 CTs can commit, and Kiyoshima finds a kill on Get Right. A huge scalp to take in the grand scheme of things. 25 seconds remaining. It will be an A-sided attack to come in. Alu, though, I was about to say, ready for this. Going to be taken down there by Pitt, but Kerrigan quickly responds. 2 versus 1 and 15 seconds remain.
He's got to go quickly as well. It's basically a 1 versus 1 on the site. He's going to try and go committed to the plant. No need to push through. if you're Kerrigan at this point in time. Wait for Kiyoshima to get in position. Pitt's going to try and catch them off, get aggressive, finds the first headshot lineup as well. He's got them both above the dumpster, and never mind the wrist injury. He's back, and NiP will find round 3.
What a fantastic round there was from Pitt. Here's the replay over. Get right, spraying through the smoke. Quite a strange round, I would say. Rain probably should have done better in that situation as well. 2 in the side. He does damage. Pitt finds a TK, but if he's winning the round, who cares? And that's going to be a great actual little clutch for him. So we have got a pause. I assume this will be maybe tactical. It is, if so, the Ninjas, in fact. So this is actually heating up to be quite an interesting game. I'd say, Matt, I'd say NiP were the huge favourites going to this, just judging what the kind of animal phase is ultimately. It's very rare to see them do very well in any tournament. They normally scrape through group stages just about, and they kind of blunder in the playoffs. So they're looking quite strong right now, 2-0, and they have a huge lead here. It's 8-3. On Overpass against NiP.
Yeah, well, I mean, think how many roster changes they made. I think Rain finally said, like, he's changed, like, 100 players, and this is it. He finally wants to commit to
Have you seen that graphic people have made?
It's insane.
Like the generation of FaZe and the different lineups.
It's nuts. Can I just say really quickly before we leave the camera that we both happen to be wearing burgundy, and with me with a mustache? Am I
we
wrong,
both
burgundy?
got mustaches.
Well, sorry,
come on.
Forgot. We both have mustaches.
Come on,
whatever
guys,
you say,
please.
Henry. But no, I mean, you're right. And finally, maybe they have a composition that makes sense. They've got some leadership.
Yeah.
They've got an entry fragger back in Keo. They've got an AWP player. They need AZ to get back to his form, late Dignitas form, I think, and then they'll be really firing on all cylinders.
This is another big round. If FaZe win this after the 1v1, NiP back to a double EQ. You can see that's reflected in their bar right now. 3 AKs, 2 UMPs after winning a round. That's not ideal. Lots of money available for FaZe, but Alu doesn't land that first shot. Still confident, and of course he lands the second, and he has an opportunity to find the second, but he actually does not find it. It's going to be an equal exchange for now until Pitt, he chimes in. Seems like he's in good form right now. Like he said, recovering from injury, but still nailing a lot of very impressive shots. His second kill of this round. AZ and Kiyoshima, the B-side players, actually going to be separated for now. Kiyoshima's rotated towards AZ, alone on the B-side.
Alone, but still a threat, given the HP for NiP if they make a careless entry and he finds a lineup.
Well, someone needs to step up here. And Kiyoshima will be pushing towards the connector. Pitt is waiting for him though. Great awareness. It's going to come down to the timings. It's very tempting to look away sometimes and assume something else might be coming in, just like that. Kiyoshima will be going back towards C-spawn. He knows connector is going to be a vulnerable area for himself. So repositions. At this point, 30 seconds remain. Just not fully committing, but you can see exists. He's made his way towards long, so he's called the A sides clear. Everyone, get your skates on. This is what we'll be finishing up, and presumably that's where the bomb will be coming momentarily.
What do you mean, get your skates on? What does that mean?
You never heard that before? Get your skates on? Means I get there quickly.
I usually say get your Nikes. I mean, I get it. I should know that of all people, Hockey Canada, dead. This exists on the site. Keo's actually got a chance at this because 7 seconds. They have to go for the plant. He's in a position to deny. Thankfully, the smoke's there, and he runs out of ammo at the most awkward moment because Get Right just entered through. That's going to give Pitt the position once more, but this time he's found by AZ, so he don't have the existing lineup toward that dumpster that he did in the previous round, but Get Right elevates himself, sees above the smoke, and takes down AZ, grabs the AK immediately after, and now they've halved the score 8-4.
Another interesting round there. Really came down to that last interaction with the CTs. Great opening play from Allo. I think he legged the second terrorist at that point as well. I'm not 100% sure, but Kiyoshima, I thought he'd done enough there considering the time remaining as well. But Get Right finds him with the UMP just as he's reloading as well. And Get Right so strong in those clutches, confident in himself. Faces towards CD Spawn with the UMP, takes AZ down and does find round number 4. Still, so much money available for FaZe. They have another full buy here as well. Allo, once again, trying to find that first pick in middle. I think he takes a nade to the face. Wasn't 100% sure, but that would make sense considering the damage inflicted. So he goes under 50 HP. Get Right. So NiP, especially on Overpass, on their defaults, they're relying on him to make something happen towards B, whether that's towards Monster Tunnel or walking up towards short. We know he's one of the greatest lurkers in the history of Counter-Strike, right? But
it's true.
Overpass especially, it's when he really comes into his own. If he gets the timings right, he can do something very special. But the problem is everyone knows that's what he does. So it's difficult for them to find a lot of openings, I have to say. But let's see what he can do here. Round number 13. NiP's starting to close the gap now. But FaZe have won the half. On the CT half, of course, but still. Certainly promising.
Freiburg at the bottom of the steps already, covering off the underpass.
That's where they have been struggling, this connector area, so they're trying to clear it out with 4 people, make sure nothing's given away at that point. Back towards B they go.
UMP for Freiburg. the most idyllic gun in this situation if he wants to go for the entries.
Well, the rounds they're winning, they're only keeping one player alive every single time, so these buys are a bit of a struggle. Great smoke from FaZe.
That's a perfect smoke, but a little late in terms of covering off an IP's entry. So Keo would have had all the information. They're walking in. They don't even see him, and he's able to tap down 4 players looking for the ace. Not going to get it. We've yet to have one. Well, we've been casting, and GetRight's able to pull this back. 7 HP. Somehow he finds a counter to it all because they were relying on Keo, and smartly knows that Rain has to be rotating in from connector. Fast plant behind the pillar. He's got his crosshair already placed, looking for the shot. Nearly finds. I have to say, nearly finds, at least in terms of graphic, but not in terms of damage, because he only goes down to 67. Rain will clutch back the round, and they'll grab the AWP.
Shiva would be so upset if they didn't win that round. What a great play from him. Like, what a common position, I have to say. Like, you're very exposed, but his teammates taking all the aggro away on the side. There you can see just to the right-hand side, it's going to be AZ. He's standing in the open, trying to be as intrusive as he can towards the terrorists, and Kiyoshiba is tapping them down. No one even looking at him. Great work from him, but GetRight, always so scary in the 1v1s. Like he said, aware as to where Rain was, but he didn't really have the HP to work with there. Can't find the initial headshot. And like I said, money's still not great for NiP. They get the bomb down, but still, it's going to be another struggle of a buy here. They're going to have a couple of AK-47s and 3 pistols to go with them. They have a bit of utility as well, but money's not amazing on either side. Alu, though, AWP in hand. UMP for Carrigan, Famas Razy. This is a round will be indicative of the final outcome. If NiP can pick it up, they're right back into this, but if they lose it and it goes to 10-4, pretty likely we'll be finishing on 11-4 FaZe. So let's see if they can do anything with this fast play towards long.
Jumping to spot, but the bullets give away the information. 2 AKs, a bunch of pistols. A gap and a smoke. Oh, Alu nails it. Hits Pith. It's back slightly as well because he doesn't need to let them get any closer. Missing a shot would be detrimental. He's going to have to give himself a position to Rain. He can't cover it off, but Kerrigan's there to find 2. Rain may have gone down, but they maintain the advantage by 1. Kerrigan, AZ, Keo, GetRight, Freiburg, and GetRight on 5 HP has an AK-47 to work with. Be better suited to pass that to his teammate, but right now they're split. And GetRight's going to come in from long. Freiburg's going to try and steal the aggro by doing some shots toward the truck. He's managed to pick up an M4, so now both on rifles. Bomb down as we see it behind the default boxes. That's a long way to go into the site with 3 players still up.
Really much an NiP can do here. Played Kiyoshima. He makes light work of both of them and finds both kills on 7 HP. That was a difficult round for NiP. I'm not sure I agree with the force buy there. They were hoping FaZe were going to be low money, which they were, but Carrigan lighting them up there with the UMP as a whole. And I did say, if FaZe find that round, oh, we have a bit of live action here. There we go. That's hype.
Live action.
Live action, of course. But
live action role playing.
That is my favorite. Last round, like I said, the money's just going to be in the bin, as you would say, for the last round. And it's going to be Tech9s.
But they're not the bin juice.
They're not the bin juice just yet. There is a chance with Tech9s and the Scout. Actually, maybe it is the bin juice. It's a horrible little buy.
Look at Tech9s. Bin juice would be like Glocks, I think. Good shot from Rain. They're getting aggressive. They know the situation with the money. NiP, by the way, the kill total's pretty abysmal. I think Exist has 10. No one else above 5, if I read that correctly.
They kind of wrecked themselves by going towards B so many times in a row. Like, that seems a stronghold for FaZe. You've got 2 of the best players on the team actually working in perfect synergy there. And there's the scoreboard for you right now. Freiburg.
GetRight 7, so I was wrong.
So yes, you got 7, 6, 6. No one really going nuts to Exist. It's quite rare to see him topping the score charts for NiP. Certainly a very good player, but not the star of the team. So that suggests something's a little bit off here. I haven't been a fan of their approach overall here on the T side. But you know, NiP, they're one of the most resilient teams in the game, and they do find the pistol. They're straight back into this in the second half. But still, this is getting interesting. 3 versus 2. Unfortunately, Alu, who's had a great game so far. 3 frags in this round once again. Louis Forrest, the last player remaining. 11-4. That will be the first half score here. FaZe looking incredibly sharp, I have to say. But NiP, I'm not 100% happy with their decisions overall. I think it took them a while to get going here on Overpass. Not the same team we saw against Mousesports.
And it's going to have to be a large pickup if that cream pie is going to land on Moses' face. We'll be right back in just a second. Welcome back, Intel Extreme Masters, but NiP looking anything but masterful without Michael on Overpass.
Yeah, a little bit lackluster, that has to be said. The T-side approach, you can see they're quite stubborn on that B-side, weren't they? They just couldn't let it go. AZ and Kirishima locking them down, and we go into a very important pistol round here. If NiP can win this and get to 3-0, a very resilient team, as I said before. No one really gets past them this season. They're the king of comebacks. I think that's a fair statement to say. And it's going to be 4 sets of armor for FaZe, and it's going to be Carrigan, the utility player. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. We're going to see whether they can actually do anything quickly here towards middle, it seems. Get right, pushes off short. Why not? Let's get him there.
This has monster covered as well, so he could push through quite quickly. Pushing short, though. Door open inwardly. Easy's going to realize that he's there.
It's funneling them towards A, which is working quite nicely. And the CDs will rotate over, and the commitment comes in. Forest going to find contact first in the form of Alu. What a shot that was.
That's a big kill to get as well, because all 3 players that beat don't elect to rotate from the flank because they, again, spotted get right. So they go all the way back around. Bomb gets planted on this because inevitably there wasn't enough to defend the site, but Forrest staying alive gives them a massive chance for the retake when they do arrive. Boost over from the fence, and Get Right can't find the opportunity, but Freiburg will. It's rain to go down, and Get Right wants to wrap back around in the site. Knows he's in the corner. What a shot on Keo. And it pushes them well back toward the bathrooms, planted for it, but they've only got the Glocks to hold this off. No upgrades to a USP that's dropped over. Both peek out at the same time. No AZ's able to catch off Get Right. They've got to go hunting, and they've got to be aware of the 2 players peeking at the same time, because AZ does it again, and they commit to the one at Flower Pot. He closes the round himself.
AZ having a great game so far. What's he actually on now? Well, 13 kills, but to be fair, it's Kirishima that have been leading the way, but this was a fantastic play from Forrest. I thought that would be enough to deny the A site, but just staying together, it's rained over things up there, and AZ to finish it off. It's going to be 4 kills for him, looking sharp. That's a big, big pistol for FaZe to pick up. It's not a force bind to the second lane from NiP. Yes, they get a scout and some pistols with a new armor purchase. So that suggests they're looking to the future a bit more. They're almost going to allow FaZe to potentially get to, what, like 14 rounds here? So that's an interesting decision. Most teams will force buy in the second, but Forrest with a chance to make something happen here. Well, not much of a chance. He gets a
swing and a miss.
Yeah. Well, this should be the
Michael Jordan playing baseball.
Is that like a Space Jam reference?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he ever play baseball? Was that
yes,
just from the film?
He played 1 year.
No way.
He played like half a year or something. He was pretty abysmal. Yeah, do you think Michael Jordan's a fictional character?
No, this one, the film as well. Surely he didn't play baseball. That would be...
Yeah, he did play baseball. It's not just something that was made up. He's a real person. Speaking of real people, AZ's been very real so far to start off this half. 13-4 now the score, and he picks up another 2 in that round. Looking convincing, I did say, you know, it's something that we've all talked about at a point. He's never really reached his form in this team. If he starts now with the team that they've got, they can be a really good team. I really think that FaZe have massive potential right now.
Well, yeah, 14-4. Like, yeah, AZ for me, like, he's been such a massive talent in terms of when he was just joining Dignitas. He was a star player. He was just one of the craziest fraggers we've seen in a very long time. As soon as he joined this team, that seemed to drop off slightly. Well, not even slightly, quite significantly. And now I think this dynamic, they seem a lot more confident. They've gone through a lot of changes here. This is the one that's excited me the most, I have to say. Let's get into this one, shall we? Freiburg doing some damage out of the USB. It's almost a guaranteed round for FaZe. I don't want to bring any spoilers to the table, you know, but with silenced USBs and up against AKs. Yeah, you know.
Ooh, good position from AZ. Nearly get caught with the Molotov out. Taking a drink of celebratory too soon. It's going to be Keo to push forward. Takedown exists. Realizes there's another one there, but it doesn't matter because Kerrigan's going to find it instead. Makes it 14-4. 2 to go for FaZe before your hopes and dreams are shattered and Dazed can rub it in.
Dazed is rubbing his hands at the side of the stage as it's seen before. He's looking very happy with himself, but it's not over until the fat lady sings, Matthew, so it's going to be...
Don't talk about Lauren that way. It's so rude.
Round number 19. 4 M4s. UMP. Forest.
AZ goes through, tries to extinguish the flames immediately. It's going to be Forest, though, that catches them off, and Freiburg with 2 because they were a little bit overcommitted to that play. Pith as well in the site. NiP looking flawless. It's Kerrigan versus 5.
Well, I did say, did I not, the B site? Freiburg and Exist, they're looking very strong there recently, especially when Michael was in the team. That's when they seemed to...
Yeah, I remember Michael was over toward A.
Yeah, it was Freiburg and Forest, and this is where we've started to discover Freiburg might be back in terms of his form, and he looked very good on this map. So the grind begins. NiP, like I said, didn't force buy on the second round there, and then actually managing to have grenades and defuse kits and everything they need to actually do something on this first gun round. It still is a bit of a bonus round from FaZe. They had an array of like SMGs and AKs there, just trying to go fast towards B like we saw from NiP, but not a single kill obtained. But it's going to be just Carrigan trying to get the bomb down here. Oh, an interesting turn of events. Towards bank he goes. Let's see this one coming.
Kerrigan looks the wrong way at the wrong time. And again, 1 versus 5. Not like he could have found much, but a few kills. UMP, remember, he did have so good kill reward, and it would have forced a bit of reinvestment. Could have been beneficial, but it's going to be 5 rounds now for NiP. They're not done just yet, as you say. Good boost up to start it off. Freiburg with 2, in fact. The second one, I think he was already falling. Pretty close, just before, I think.
Yeah, they were burning alive there in the Molotov. So here we go. Then the first real gun run, I would say. No AWP though for NiP. Full buy for FaZe, of course. Like I said, bonus round. Go towards B quickly. Try and end it as fast as you can. GG it right then, but not meant to be. Good Molotov and a decent boost there from NiP. Round number 20. This is when FaZe really can pretty much end the game right here, right now. You get 15-5, it's going to be such a difficult prospect. Not one single mistake can be made, and that's quite rare in Counter-Strike these days. Have a perfect game. Here we go then. Alu. This is when FaZe, I liked it when they brought him in. It seemed like they could actually have defaults here. They never really had a top AWPer. Bringing him in was almost the perfect addition, I think, to this team. And he's certainly a player they can rely on to open up the map. Very intelligent player in terms of reading the game efficiently, and he's actually getting some decent map control. I think that's actually quite true for a lot of the FaZe members. The 2 of them towards long, and there it is. That first pick comes in. Get right, whiffs the spray, and Forrest has to do some work here towards long. Finds 1. Can he make it 2?
Pit down to 73, but Forrest still wants more. He's got 5 HP. Has to time the peak perfectly. Does so. Nade as well. That's going to do decent damage from the grave. Despite that he goes down, he's punched well above his weight.
Yeah.
And that's going to give Pitt a bit more of a chance. Now, he's content with the front of bathrooms, though, because he can't retreat to the site safely, and that gives them a chance to pull this back. It's Exist that falls at the hands of AZ. Traded back. It's all on Freiburg. So the good work that Forrest done might go unnoticed in terms of the scoreboard.
Well, here we go then. An interesting prospect for FaZe. They have 25 seconds remaining now. The bomb's towards long. Freiburg's on the A site. They were thinking about going towards B, I think, but the time just eluded them. At Freiburg, he had maybe taken the bait here. Should have stayed where he was. Obviously, no way of knowing, but had to take a risk either way. Bomb will be planted towards A, and at this point, considering they have 2 smokes and a Molotov mat, I would say it's going to be close to an impossible task, considering the utility they have available to them. It's going to take an absolute godlike performance here from Freiburg. I'm not sure what the options are. Just push for a smoke with the flashbang he has. Hope for the best.
Yeah, he's going to try his best here, indeed. Ghost, yeah, look at the setup. Perfect crossfire. He goes out. FaZe, Keo already inside of the bank stairs, and AZ was just waiting for the best opportunity to take him down. So it goes on to map point for FaZe, and they've got 10 of them to play with against NiP. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there should just be enough money to force in for NiP, but it's going to be close. Yeah, they've got an AWP back into the hands of Forrest already.
The day says
That's a
Alu,
lovely shot.
very smooth AWPer. You can see that it wasn't really a flick. He took his time, made sure he nails it, and that's exactly true. I agree with that statement. That's actually quite accurate. But 15-5, like I said, I'm pretty sure this game's over now. And they get a UMP, 2 of them. They have got the open Forest. They can win this round. It'd just be such a grind to take it to overtime. But let's see if they've got it in them. It will be round number 21 here. Another default for FaZe. Almost gifted the map control in the previous round, and Kerrigan looking for more as he goes towards mid.
Yeah, right. Oh, that jump. That makes a lot of noise. Kerrigan instantly stops. Keo turns his attention immediately to where he was. Smartly, he's going to back away from that as Setch. Pith's there. He'll do the same. So they'll set for the front of bathrooms, but Alu finds Get Right immediately. Keo takes down Pith, and I dare say your bet of the 5-0 NiP has diminished immediately because it's down to a 5 versus 3. 2 UMPs, an AWP for Forrest. Bomb already planted. He'll do what he can from the bank stairs. Keo's got good position as well on top of the dumpster, covering off the main stairwell. Forrest is looking desperately to find the angle. Knows there's one on the truck. Spots the gun barrel through. They'll try and push immediately onto that. In fact, they'll capitalize with Exist getting 1, but now it's down to Forrest. AWP versus 4. Game over, I'm afraid. Fires a shot that just sounds as a warning to give away his position, and 16-5 FaZe batter NiP, who without Michael look lost again on this map.
Yeah, but I completely agree. That C side was pretty abysmal. Very stubborn towards that B side of the map. Didn't really come to life at all towards maybe the last few rounds. They've had a couple there. Losing the pistol in the second half, that pretty much called the GG for me at that point. But it appears the magic has run dry. They will not be getting the 5-0 as you thought they would.
Yeah, you're right.
FaZe, a great performance from them overall. They've had such a rough year with this lineup, or this core lineup, and now they're looking very strong indeed. 3-0, looking very promising to actually win the group here.
It's very promising indeed. Over at the Xfinity analyst desk, we've got a man who's been trying desperately to hide those beautiful nails, Alex, but they do really bring out the color in your eyes.
I don't know if I'm hiding them. I feel like the amount of tweets I've gotten saying, "What the hell are you doing with your nails?" does say otherwise. They're definitely being spotted. Just to highlight, it wasn't necessarily by choice, although I do look rather fabulous. It was, of course, in one of our stretch goals for the charity and for our month of November, growing horrible facial hair, which you might very well be part of. We never know. Little teaser. Still, he is dazed. I'm Machine. Let's talk about this one. As we do see NiP come back to Overpass. The second time they got a 16-8 versus Mouse, and well, it seems like FaZe made them work a little harder.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to come out a bit better on Overpass, but, you know, it is just one map. They got their economy broken twice, and they lost both pistols.
Is that just it? Like, that's bottom line?
Yeah, that's really tough to win from. But on that T side, the 4 rounds they won 1 round clean.
Yeah.
The other 3 rounds, I believe they only had 1 alive. So anytime you lose a round in that situation, you know, you get your economy broken. You know, they might have had like 5 maybe or so gun rounds that they really had on T side, or like 6 gun rounds. It really wasn't much. There wasn't much to work with there. So really tough.
I mean, it's not like there weren't some ways back in. We even saw a Forest clutch in round 6 where
this was a great round with when he pulls out the Tech 9 here, just doing Forest things. Like a long range Tech 9 like that, instant headshot, and then I believe he ended up winning the 1v1.
He waited for Alu for so long.
Yeah, and this is actually very, very T-sided when you plant right here, and they're trying to come up towards the bomb site, because you could peek from the left, you could peek from the right, and you actually could jump up and peek, and it's a crouch peek, so you're not going to be in the air. You can instantly shoot as soon as that happens, taking advantage of that peeker's advantage. And unfortunately for NiP, their B-sided aggression, like Henry was talking about, you know, they had some success, mild success, but again, when you only win with 1 alive, you lose 1 gun round, so, it's just, you get your economy broken, and it's so tough to come back from. Kerrigan, though, played extremely well. That CT side pistol, you know, it was looking really poor for them. I believe Rain and Alu both had like 20 health. The dude just put on his cape, ran in and saved Rain's life like he was Superman or something, to just get a 3K and get them off to that great start. He had another round with the ump on a gun round where he like had an ump, saved the round, got a 2K, played really, really well. And then the other thing I want to say is that although AZ played well, they really all played well. All 5 of the guys played well.
When you're winning like
had
that,
his rounds,
of course.
Rain had his rounds. They all played well. But the one thing I want to talk about is Alu's opping. I know he didn't have that many kills, and I guarantee you, if we talked to Alu and we said, hey, how did you play that match? You know, he would have been like, oh, dude, I could add a 30 bomb. But the thing is, there was a stark contrast from what we've seen on Overpass earlier from the previous oppers. He would go aggressive. He would always have fallback options. He'd take a shot. He'd fall back, right? He always had outs.
Are these fallback options from himself, or are these fallback options because of teammates, because of positioning?
Absolutely both. First off, he never put himself out of position. There was one time when he was caught on Fountain, pushing Fountain, but he still got a kill and then legged someone. So you'll take that all day long. But when it came to him, and on Overpass, it's really tough to push off an aggressive op like that, especially when he falls back safely, because you have the bathroom's entrance when you come from Fountain. You could smoke off around the Fountain and peek towards teammate.
And he's out.
When you come towards out of blue, another op shot could happen. There's like 3 or 4 fallback options. And then there's also the re-aggress option. We saw Alu use every single one of those this game. And it puts a lot of pressure on NiP. And I know he only had about 11 kills on that CT side. I guarantee you, if you asked him, like, if he played well, he'd been like, no, I played terrible. I could add 35. Like, that's what he would have said.
That's the mindset he has, but what he was doing was all he needed to.
Well, it's not. It's just that he put pressure on NiP to always have to clear these angles. He always got the information when they were coming and things like that. If they ever hit A, he gives a lot of information to his teammates so that they can overplay towards B. It's really troublesome. And while he's doing that, he's not putting himself in too much danger, because he always falled back if he saw someone. He never got caught out.
So what you're telling me is watching Chris J play that Overpass AWPing and watching Alu was a very stark contrast in
it was definitely different. We saw a lot of times when Chris J opt, he would shoot a shot and he'd be in a position where he can't really fall back, right? And he'd get punished for it. With Alu, it was very, very different. And even during the re-aggression, you know, he did it like... He did it at the right times. He was a little bit more successful for it, because re-aggressing on the A site, going towards like the catwalk or the bathrooms, is very, very strong. Chris J is definitely capable of that. Sometimes when you're an opper on Overpass, like if you're off by just a millisecond, really bad things can happen. We know Chris J has it in him. I think Chris J at his peak is probably stronger than Alu. Just Alu's just way more consistent.
Right. And I mean, you know what? Another big factor, yes, everyone from FaZe was firing on all cylinders, but NiP could not put anything together. The stats tell the whole story. I mean, look at this. Barely breaking into double digits, and you've got some members of FaZe closing in on 20. Alu, AZ, Kerrigan, the whole shebang, all getting close to that 20 margin. I mean, the fact that you've got 21 highest, 16 lowest, there was plenty of fragging going on across the board.
Oh yeah, team effort across the board. B was held strong, A was held strong. Kiyoshima getting that boost there. Slight mistakes by NiP and things like that. But at the end of the day, you know, it is just one map. NiP's still looking really, really strong to come out of this group. I believe the next game they play might be against SK, right?
Well, we're going to be seeing Cloud9 SK next, but yes, they haven't played that game yet.
Okay, so worst case scenario from them, they go 3-2. We saw another group, that was enough to get out. So we'll see.
We certainly will, but I mean, FaZe potentially topping the group, coming from iBuyPower Masters as well. Let's not forget, this was not an invite. They managed to qualify for this one, and now they have the opportunity to go ahead and top it. Not by no means were they at the tip of anyone's tongue when we said favorites for Group B, but they're on track.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing great. They're playing great, and Kerrigan has his guys just all buying in. They have the talent, so we'll see how they utilize together. I actually thought NiP was 3-1 right now. I didn't realize they were 2-1.
So yeah, just 2 wins, 1 loss under their belt. Alongside Heroic, though, take note, they have just picked up another win versus Mouse.
Did they?
Yeah, 0-3 Mouse Sports, unable to do anything. So that's getting dangerous. Mouse Sports were one of the kind of will they, won't they alongside FaZe in our pre-show, and well, stark contrast. FaZe certainly will. It seems like Mouse certainly won't. At 0-3, they're going to have to turn things around as this day does continue. Just 2 more games to play, and even then, it's not even a guarantee, given how other teams are performing. Before we do go to a break, a reminder that you could see this live. If you are in the Bay Area or if you fancy a quick flight or a drive, please do not hesitate to head over to IEMOakland.com and you can even grab your tickets for the stadium show, of course, in the Oracle Arena. We'll be there. Your favorite teams will be there. They're even there right now. You can go ahead and get that mousepad sign and watch some sexy CS. When we come back, it's going to be time to see Cloud9 SK play. That will be intriguing to see North America versus South America, and it's going to be always good to see how these 2 teams match up. There's no doubt there's a whole lot of knowledge between both of them, knowing their opponent inside and out. We'll see you after the break for more of the same.